Hi, everybody. Welcome into today's show here on JTV. It is Monday, day after the Masters Monday. I'm David Rice. Thank you to the Insurance Circle Agency. That is Adam, and it's finally warmer weather out, so not everything's been canceled.
That's right.
We're actually playing sports.
Yes.
So, pretty packed weekend for sports. Anything I know you watched, we'll get to later, but Western Michigan. Pistons finished the regular season.
They did. Tigers played against the Twins.
Yep. Tigers, Spencer Torkelson's been rolling. We don't talk about the Red Wings because they suck.
It's at least over.
And that's about it. So
the Masters was the big one, though.
And the Masters, which we will get to. So, but we start off today's show, high school spring sports again. Last week, really the last week and a half to two, everything's either gotten rescheduled or totally canceled just because of the horrible weather that we had. It's finally warmer. Even this morning when I left, it came here at like 9 a.m. It was already almost 60 out at 9 a.m. So that's pretty good for Michigan for mid-April. So this week, the next 2 weeks are really going to be big makeup weeks for everything that's gotten canceled, moved, rescheduled. This week, we have a lot of baseball, softball, girls soccer, track and field, golf, tennis, a couple Jackson lacrosse games. I'm probably missing another sport, but whatever's happening, it's happening all this week. So for any new updated schedules, because most of the time, we're not really informed of any big schedule changes. That's not a secret, but you can check, your school's athletic pages, team, Facebook pages, social media, school websites. So all the updated schedules. So check with your school and each day with the Center for Family Health scoreboard on jtv.tv. And shout out to Cody Rowe, Northwest golfer. Coldwater Invitational last Friday. Tied for first. Shot a 74. So shout out to him. And two local athletes who both play sports for Grand Valley. Been really successful as well. We'll have a Saturday spotlight coming up in a few weeks on them too. But Colin Bradley, 2022 Napoleon graduate. His younger brother is Grant Bradley, who pitches for Michigan.
Oh, yeah.
And Colin, the older brother, junior, he pitches for Grand Valley. This past week, he was the GLIAC Conference Pitcher of the Week, so congrats to him. Yeah, junior pitcher Colin Bradley. He picked up the win. They played Saginaw Valley State, which will have an athlete from Saginaw Valley State on the podcast Wednesday, too. Some more details on that coming up. But key series, two of the top teams in the conference only gave up 2 runs on 1 hit in 7 innings. In this last appearance with 7 strikeouts. So after giving up a leadoff single, then he walked 2 batters. After that, he retired 19 of 20 batters, including 16 straight after the second inning. Bradley's 3-2 on the year, team best 2.3 ERA, just 11 runs allowed in 43 innings pitched with 35 strikeouts. So congrats on that to Colin Bradley. So 2022 Napoleon High School graduate. And, of course, younger brother Grant doing well, too, for the Maize and Blue. And the Grand Valley women's basketball team won the D2 National Championship. Avery Cabana, Grass Lake graduate, is on there as well. Was on the team, was a starter. So
just keeps winning. She just keeps winning everywhere she goes.
That's right. So congratulations to all of our athletes with their continued success at the collegiate level. So coming up on the show today, Red Wings, they stink. They're eliminated. They just needed Montreal to not go to overtime.
Yeah.
And that's what happened.
Or
and
win.
They won.
Yeah, I mean, winning by itself would have messed it up. But I saw a stat that this was the first time in NHL history that the original 6, that the 4 U.S. teams in the original 6 were not in the playoffs, which I thought that was crazy. The first time ever.
So you think all the way back to I don't know when the first year of the NHL was, 1900 something.
No, 19, maybe in the 20s, 10s, something in that range.
But still, out of over 100 years of the NHL, you think those 4 teams, that's the first time ever that all of them have not made the playoffs out of that many years?
Look at that stretch that the Red Wings were in, 24 straight, 25 straight playoff appearances. I mean, even
Bruins.
in that range. Yeah, and then the Bruins have always, at least since then, have always been pretty good. Same thing with the Rangers. Those are, they've always been pretty good. I'm pretty sure the Rangers are one of the
So it's what? Red Wings, I always forget this. Canadians and Maple Leafs.
Mm-hmm.
Red Wings, Bruins,
Rangers,
and there's one more.
Yeah, I can't think of what the other one is. Yeah, I'll look it up.
We'll get back to that. But Tigers doing well. Torkelson, huge second deck home run. I believe that was Saturday into left field. And then NBA news that just came in before we started the show today. The Phoenix Suns will have a new head coach, so we'll get to that. Pistons taking on the Knicks first round, and even ESPN, as much as they like New York. I watched the show yesterday before the Pistons game. They're liking the Pistons' chances, and I do
like
too.
By the way, the other team was Chicago. Chicago
Oh,
Blackhawks.
duh.
Yeah, of course.
McElroy has his masterpiece.
He finally did
as
it.
Jim Nantz called it.
He finally had it.
And new NFL mock draft that came out today. A couple changes from the last mock that we talked about. Kind of surprising. The number 1 and 2 spots, maybe 3, aren't really changed. But everything after that's kind of surprising. Will Johnson went down a few spots from 4 or 5 to 11.
Oh, wow.
So we'll get to that. Plus, we'll tell you what's coming up on Wednesday's show. And remember last week on Wednesday, we talked about the Champions Dinner at the Masters. And we said on Monday we were going to pick our own meal.
That's right.
So do you have yours?
I do. I have my meal. Do you have your meal?
I have my meal.
Oh,
Not
man.
in front of me, I wish, because it sounds really good. But we will get to that and more when we get started. So we'll be right back on JTV. Welcome back here on JTV. Thank you to the Insurance Circle Agency and Pataki Orthodontics, Grass Lake, Hillsdale, and Coldwater, PatakiOrtho.com. NHL playoffs, Red Wings tonight, Monday on NHL Network. They're taking on the Dallas Stars. Their last game is either, I think, Wednesday or Thursday, but doesn't matter because Montreal took away their chance from the points.
Kind of figured when we looked at the schedules, they had a really tough schedule. Montreal still had a little tough schedule, but not as bad as the Red Wings. So figured that was going to happen.
So this is what, the third year in a row now that they've...
Oh, it's more than that. It's got to be.
More than that? Because, of course, they made 20, however many years.
Yeah, but then we haven't gone in it's probably been like 6 years now.
Yeah, even after
Actually, it would probably be maybe 8 or 9, honestly.
Yeah, even after a new GM and new coach, and just still can't put it together.
Yeah.
No, I don't really watch a lot of hockey, so this might be more for you. But why is this happening now with the Red Wings? How do we go from, a top 2 or 3 franchise in hockey, historically, now they just aren't good.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? Maybe it's coaching. I mean, people are real quick.
They started off good, though, for the first handful of games.
After they fired their coach.
Well, so it looked promising.
Yeah, people blame Yzerman. I'm not super quick to blame Yzerman. I just wish we could, go get Scotty Bowman again. I just wish we could get, a really good coach. I feel like we need, a pre-established coach to come in. I mean, that's what the Red Wings eventually had to do to get them over the hump before. And, then
so what you're saying is Mike Babcock is not coming back?
Probably not. But, it's different people at the helm, so I'm curious. I'm just, if they're going to stick with Yzerman, they're going to have to do something. They're going to have to go out and find a coach and really maybe bring in some talent and see what to do after that. But
why would they stick with him? That's what I don't get.
I mean, he's got the Iser plan. I mean, here's the thing. We've looked a lot better.
He's got concepts of a plan.
Well,
he doesn't.
We've looked
He doesn't have a plan.
We've looked a lot better than what we could have been during this time. We've at least had little like glimpses of what it could be. So it's like I'm not totally down on it yet, but I think I'm more impressed and surprised that the Pistons made the playoffs before the Red Wings did.
Oh, I know, especially after the worst season, not by record, but worst season in NBA history really last year.
I was gonna say
second worst season.
Other than the Tigers when they only won when they lost like 119 games or whatever that one season. Like other than that, it's the worst season I've seen from a Detroit sports team in my lifetime.
I would say it's the second worst.
Oh, the Tigers or the Pistons? Which one are you referring to?
I guess
I'm saying the Tigers.
I guess that would either be second or third worst.
Well, yeah, because the Lions, of course,
and then
so that would be the worst. So yeah, the
brown
Tigers,
paper bag season number 1 for the Lions.
So the second would be the Tigers. So that was the third worst I've ever seen, and I like that they all.
And that still could be number 1 if the Lions didn't do what they did.
Oh, it would have been. Yeah, if the Lions would have gotten one win that year, it wouldn't have been number 1 because to lose 119 games in a season is just brutal. With being baseball, football season sometimes it's quick to forget.
43 and 119.
I think that's what it was. Yeah.
Oh, that's.
I mean, that's so much. That's so horrible because at least in a football season, it's like, all right, you have 16 games. After that, it sucks, but after that, at least it's over. Where that is just like it's day after day after day of losing. Like, oh, I can't imagine.
And then people like me, we get the final score alerts every day, or a big home run happens, and it's just final so and so.
Yeah.
14 Tigers and nothing.
And that's what's worse about baseball is just like you're watching that. If you're an avid watcher like me, it's just like you're watching that every day. So being able to watch a losing team every
Why would you still
day,
watch them every day?
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. Maybe I wouldn't be
You
watching.
wasted your time watching them.
That was back in 03, so I was in 3rd grade. So it's not really, I was young enough. But so I probably didn't watch it like I am now. But like if we went through that now, like more recent teams like 2019, 2018, those were bad years. But
those are awful.
Yeah, but still, like, I wasn't watching every night, but I was trying, and it's just like you'd go into it being like, we're probably going to lose. At least now I go into these games thinking like we have a really good chance. Like tonight against the Brewers, I'm like, you know what, we got Scooball on the mound, we're probably going to win. So it's nice to have that now.
Right. So Tigers are 9-6. Torkelson doing really well right now, batting .309, 5 homers in the 15 games already. Had the big one into the second deck
on Sunday. That was nice, man. And then won 2 out of 3 against the Twins. So, I was hoping we'd at least win 2 out of 3. So we did that. We didn't get the sweep, but hey, we got Scoob on the mound, like I said, against Tyler Alexander, which, if I remember correctly, he played for the Tigers. So
that name sounds familiar.
I'm pretty sure he did. I didn't look it up, but I thought it's probably the same Tyler Alexander. So yeah, it'll be a fun game tonight in Milwaukee.
And in NBA news, the Pistons, after having the longest losing streak in history last year, only winning 19 games, they come back and they are the number 6 seed, not in the play-in, they are in the playoffs.
Going to be battling at MSG.
Saturday night, ESPN, 6 p.m., Game 1 at the Knicks. Madison Square Garden.
Stephen A., I was watching a discussion that they were having, and Stephen A. said he's absolutely terrified of the Pistons.
Yeah, because I was watching the countdown, the pregame show before the Bucks game yesterday.
That's what it was.
And, of course, he's, a Knicks fan, being a New Yorker. But I'd be terrified, too, especially if Cade continues the way he's been playing. He should be all-NBA first team. They probably won't because it's still Detroit, and it's that big name, big market bias that the voters have. So he probably won't be first team All-NBA, although he should. They put up a graphic of the only 5 players in the league to average 25, 5, and 5 at minimum. And I don't remember them off the top of my head, but Jokic, LeBron, Cade, Luka, and there was one other, I think Jason Tatum. So, compared to those 4, and then Cade Cunningham is there.
Yeah.
And the Pistons beat the Knicks 3 out of 4 this year too.
Yeah,
if that's
right.
any sign.
Yeah, but then their one loss was like a 30-point loss. So there's that. I don't know if Cade played during that or not. I didn't look that up, but yeah, I mean, and take this with a grain of salt because Perkins is I'm not a big fan of him, but he
shouldn't have a job.
He did say that the who he sees to be the next American to win the MVP award would be Cade Cunningham. I thought that was interesting
because SGA will win it this year, of course, from Canada.
And every year Jokic could potentially win it.
That's true.
Right.
And what's crazy is not non-American here, but everybody thought he was all the hype coming in when he got drafted. I just saw this video pop up the other day from Australia. Ben Simmons, do you remember when he first came in the league, he had all the hype, and Colin Cowherd was like, because LeBron had there was that 2018 year where he carried that awful Cavs team to the finals, and his numbers weren't as high as they normally were.
Didn't he say he would rather have Ben Simmons than...
Yeah, he's like, LeBron, age is starting to get up there, but he said, it's okay. Ben Simmons is here. The league will be all right.
Is he on a team? Does he play in America anymore? Yeah,
I don't know.
I mean, yeah, that's don't believe what anybody says on TV. And that's us included.
Don't believe what you see on TV.
Yeah, please.
Or if you listen to this.
Yeah, honestly.
And just before we started taping this, the Suns fired Mike Budenholzer. They didn't even make the play-in, let alone the playoffs. And that team this year for the Suns, the highest payroll ever in NBA history.
That's pretty crazy.
Ever. And they don't even make the playoffs. Bradley Beal, Devin Booker, Kevin Durant.
Yeah, that's bad.
Those three. And you don't make the playoffs.
I think they should investigate Bradley Beal for
screwing it up?
For stealing all that money from the Suns organization, because I feel like he just...
For fraud.
I feel like, yeah,
theft.
exactly. It's unbelievable.
Durant wasn't on the team yet. He came to the team the year after, but people forget the Suns only made the finals 3 years ago against the Bucks?
Yeah, and had a good shot to win it.
Yeah, it was 6 games.
That was a different team with Chris Paul and stuff like that, but still, I mean, that they had a real good shot.
Right. So they actually did better before Bradley Beal came to the Suns.
Yeah, which I didn't think that. I thought he was going to be a pretty fun piece to add to that team. That team was looking like they were going to be contenders, but...
Well, they should. They have Kevin Durant, Bradley Beal, and Devin Booker.
Yeah, but it takes more than just having names on a team. You got to be a good team. Got to have depth.
Yep. Even, you can go back and look at any championship team. They all had depth.
Yeah.
So,
well, maybe that,
Kobe, Shaq, they had depth.
Man, those years though, like there were some teams, man, that just did not they didn't win the championship, but they got to the finals like that. Remember the Cavs team, the first Cavs team with LeBron? We mentioned this, I think, last show with Gibson and Varejao and
no, let's not do this again.
But it's
Iglauskis, Eric Snow, Anderson Varejao.
Yeah. But it's but those teams.
His dad, Delonte West.
But those teams didn't win, so I guess there's a reason they didn't win. But it now in modern NBA, you really do need to have a well-rounded team to be able to do it.
Well, even Shaq has said it before. You need, maybe not a scorer, but point guard type player, a passer, ball handler. You need a big shot Bob like they had Robert Horry.
You need a good backup center, honestly. You need somebody to be able to come off the bench that can at least play a little bit of defense.
Yeah, and when Embiid was hurt or didn't want to play, really, because he just didn't want to play, Andre Drummond got a lot of minutes and played okay for them. And that's crazy, too, by the way. Paul George, Joel Embiid, and Tyrese Maxey. And they finished 13th in the East this year.
They didn't have a good season either.
So Paul George was asked about that in the presser after their last game, and he's like, well, it's Paul George, Embiid, and Tyrese Maxey on our team together. I didn't expect us to finish 13th in the East this year, I'll be honest. I know. Well, they did.
That's bad.
Yeah.
That's bad.
Even the Pistons, who don't have any big names besides Cade Cunningham, did 7 spots better.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that looks like a complete team compared to what 76ers were doing. I mean, there was start of the season, didn't they go like 1-6, 1-7 to start the season? Like, they had a really bad start to the season as well.
Yep. So, when we come back, more hockey, Western Michigan, the Broncos, men's hockey national champions.
Who would have thought?
Yeah. When I first turned it on, my brother had no clue. He forgot Western was D1 because they were playing Boston or whoever it was.
Boston U.
He was like, is this D2 or 3? Why would they have it? I said, no, this is Division 1. He's
Boston,
like,
Boston is a hockey school.
Boston.
Easily. Yep.
Yeah. So when we come back, more hockey. What will you have at your Masters Champions dinner?
I'll let you know.
I will let you know as well. And new NFL mock draft. So we'll be back on JTV. Welcome back here on JTV. As Jim Nance put it yesterday, McElroy has his masterpiece. 2025 Masters champion after 17 attempts at it. 17 times he started at the Masters.
Well, it was looking like he might not do it when he missed that putt. When he was going to the playoff, I was like, he's probably going to lose, isn't he? But good.
So I'm assuming. So you watched the ending of it.
Yep.
So when the day first started, it was him and Bryson, and then Scotty teed off right before them, and all three of them started bad. By the way, of course, Wheat said I was pulling for Scotty, and he fell apart on Saturday.
Yeah, what did he?
So he wasn't even in the, I think 5th or 6th at -7. So he wasn't even in the running by the time we got to Sunday. He was still up there. It was still doable, but you knew it wasn't going to happen. Yeah. But the first 2 holes right in a row, the very first drive, Rory and Bryson, they both shank way off. So I'm like, oh, no.
Yeah, here we go.
Yeah. It's going to be a dogfight. If they're both going to be playing awful, we're going to have a champion that looked bad. And then Justin Rose comes through towards the end. And he was still down by a few shots when he was done, or he tied, but then was down. But then after Rory missed that putt and had another bad shot in the hole or two before that, he went back out to the range out there. Because you never know. You know, he had to stay loose even though he was already done playing, because you never know what could happen. Then the playoff hole ended up happening. And my brother and a lot of other people I knew were pulling for Bryson too, but he was playing really well. And they talked about it a lot in the broadcast. You could see very different emotion coming from Rory, because you know what's in his head. You know what he's thinking about the whole time. All the other years, it's what's happened here and the U.S. Open. And then Bryson comes out with a whole different energy, talking to all the fans. You know, he's bringing the vibe, and he starts off okay and then just collapses. So he's the first since Tiger to have the career Grand Slam. 6th person ever. The first 4 that did it were back in TV black and white. And then Tiger. And now Rory.
Wow.
So, and now Rory gets to pick the dinner for the Champions Dinner next year.
Yeah.
And
see what he gets. See what he chooses.
We were talking on Wednesday about previous menus. And what would you have on your menu? So we came up with ours today. Do you want to start? Do you want me to start?
I can start, because yours is not about choices. But
I'm not giving people choices. This is what I want.
I made mine all about choices, and part of it's probably because I couldn't pick, but I couldn't choose. But
let's start with the We'll go back and forth. Let's start with the appetizer first.
My appetizer, I have 3 of them.
Okay.
So you can pick from any of them. You either got Mediterranean chicken bites. I'm being very specific.
Ooh.
A small.
Wait, sorry.
Yeah.
Why Mediterranean? Why
Because
is
like the spices, I really like the spices and stuff in
okay.
Mediterranean.
Yeah.
A small Cobb salad, like a little small like appetizer salad, and sushi. Those would be the 3.
Okay, I'm definitely going with the chicken because
But that's why I got the choices out there.
I don't really eat salads. Nothing against salads.
You don't like salads. You don't like healthy food.
Well, I wouldn't say that. Well, my diet isn't good.
What'd you have for lunch?
We had Culver's.
Yeah,
for
but
lunch.
like what from Culver's did you have for lunch? I saw your plate.
Hey, easy.
Those onion rings were gigantic.
Buffalo tenders. What else? Cheese curds
And onion rings.
and onion rings.
Yo. All right.
And because we had a birthday, they brought
Milkshakes. That's right.
milkshakes for everybody.
That's right.
All that, wash it down with a milkshake, and you know what? I had I only came in an hour or two, right before lunch, so I already had a Celsius by then too.
And you had some cake.
Oh, and because we had the birthday, we had cake earlier in the day too. And a piece of banana cake and coffee cake.
You got a good metabolism though. You're good.
Yeah, but I still feel horrible
bet.
about myself when I think about that though.
But only got a few more hours to get through.
Well, yeah, and we have a big interview too.
That's right. So just make it through that.
Maybe
Eat some more onion rings and you'll be good.
if there's any left.
I think there's some cheese curds down there, but
Well, thank God for commercial breaks.
oh no.
No. And
Your appetizer.
and I don't like sushi, so that's why we go
so
with
you
the
go chicken bites.
So,
I got you.
Appetizer. Scotty Scheffler did this one, and I thought it was really good. The Texas style chili with the jalapenos and Fritos.
Okay, that sounds pretty good.
Just basic.
Yeah.
You know, you cheese, sour cream, jalapenos, and Fritos.
There you go.
So, all right, main course.
Oh, I got like freshly grilled hot dogs, hamburgers, and like grinders.
Classic American right there.
Yeah, but with as a side pasta salad as a side. So you get like
See, I
those,
don't like pasta salad.
dude, pasta
People
salad's
come
so
after me for it. I
So
know every single summer party, graduation
Yeah.
party, open house,
Right.
baby shower, something shower.
perfect.
There's always pasta
Yeah.
salad, potato salad, macaroni. I don't
Really?
No.
What do you not like about it? Is it the mayonnaise? Is it the?
See, I don't like mayo.
But what about like the Italian dressing based pasta salad?
I'm not a big Italian dressing person either, so that's probably why.
Dude, wow, man. Do you like ravioli? It's a really random thing, but
Yeah.
okay. I was just wondering because there's like
What does that have
there's
to
a
do
well
with it?
there's but you don't like Italian dressing, so you don't like that. There's a dish that I make that is like pasta salad, but I use like tortellini, which is essentially ravioli, instead of the pasta. So you get like the cheese filled tortellini as like the pasta
Ooh.
that you use. It's so
Oh
good.
man.
It's so good.
So
Yeah, what's your main course? Main course.
we're going really high class here, but
McDoubles and McChickens.
no, although that does sound good, even though we just had Culver's and I
Man.
already feel terrible.
Yeah.
So, Wagyu steak
Oh man, what are you?
with red skin mashed potatoes,
Okay.
and that's it.
Man, he's going to Wagyu.
Oh, and green beans.
He's going to Wagyu.
Wagyu. You got to go high class at that dinner.
Yeah, no, I'm just doing fun
Or
stuff.
Kobe beef
I just want it to be like
for Kobe.
I just want it to be like everyone's got something on my menu. Everyone can have something, you know.
Normally I would put choices on here, but I was putting the show together and my meal together, and I was feeling kind of petty, so I was like, you know what, I'm not going to give people choices.
Man, yeah, I was all about
So.
choices. My dessert is not. You don't have any choice. You have to have this. You personally have to have this because I think you said you've never had this before.
Oh, we talked about this.
You
I
gotta
know what this is.
Got to get the bumpy cake and
Oh.
with that soft serve ice cream. Got to get one of those like with those big machines where you put the thing.
Yeah.
You got to get. That's what you got to do. Specifically, if I could pick a specific place to get the ice cream imported, it'd be Bob Joe's Custard in Wyandotte. Wyandotte Riverview.
Really?
Yes. Imported
Okay.
all the way to Augusta from Bob
Okay.
Joe's. Calling out Bob Joe's.
Yep. So the I didn't know what it was, and I don't think people out there knew what it was either.
Yeah, how do you guys not know
Bumpy
Bumpy
cake.
cake?
So we looked it up. The Sanders kind is
Yes.
what popped up, but it's essentially it's like not that many layers, but it's kind of a layered cake, and then on the top base, it's like it's like a Swiss roll, like the Little
Yes.
Debbie.
Yeah.
Not little, it's the Swiss rolls. That's essentially.
I'm pretty
what it
sure they
is.
have them at they definitely have them around Christmas time, but they should have them at Meijer. Should be able to go to Meijer and get one.
Really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they have them at Meijer. How about this? My next birthday, so in September, it's a little ways away, but in September, I will get a Bumpy cake and I will bring it. And we'll have Bumpy cake on the David Ray show.
That sounds like a plan.
There you go.
Everybody from the office.
Yeah. When's your birthday?
August 19th.
Okay, that's sooner. We'll do August 19th.
I almost forgot the day.
Yeah, I don't know how you
August 19th.
Well, then that's even sooner. In August, we'll do it up.
Well, depending on what day of the week it is, I may not be here. I don't want to work on my birthday.
I don't care. We'll bring you.
Sorry.
We'll bring you. Well, we'll do it a couple days before. How about that?
That sounds awesome.
Whenever the show is before, we'll get you a little one of those little birthday hats.
No,
and
I am not wearing
some
one of those.
we'll get you. We'll hook you up. No, it's fine.
I'll wear it under this hat.
We'll get you the Burger King.
Well, we
crown.
got to thank the sponsors, so I got to keep the hat on. I'll just wear it over, so it's just like that.
I'll get one printed with the logo on it. I'm dedicated.
Sarah, who puts our graphics and stuff together, can we make this happen? Can we just get a cone hat with just insurance circle right on there?
Sure. I'll get but
thank you to everybody helping out with that.
Yeah, you didn't specify, so I'm gonna get you one that's like that big.
I didn't say make me look like an idiot. I just said I wanted a.
I know, but that's my job.
Thanks. Dessert. I'm going basic. I like pie, so apple pie. I'm going basic.
That's a good one.
Well, I mean, I like peanut butter, blueberry. I guess it doesn't really matter.
No ice cream with it. Just apple pie.
Leave that up to you. If you want ice cream, you want ice cream.
Oh, so choices. So you're bringing in some choices now.
A little bit of choice.
Oh, okay.
Actually, I have a choice of dessert: apple pie or churros.
Oh,
Churros on the house.
On the house.
On the house with that
Powdered sugar?
The powdered sugar, but what do you dip it in? It's
I don't know what you. Like the frosted, like the
syrupy.
Yeah, but it's like it's,
I don't know the name, but yes.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Churros on the house.
There you go.
So yeah, that's mine. We asked a few other people in the office what they would do. I think Lucas, another one of our producers, he said what, taco bar?
Yeah, that was a good idea. That was a good idea. I like that.
They probably don't let them make their own food though there. So.
Yeah, but still, like maybe you could just say what you wanted on there, but that's part of the fun of a taco bar. So maybe you would be like, I'm requesting this. I'm requesting people to make their own food because taco bars are fun.
Yeah,
I think Bart probably would pick McDonald's.
That's fair.
That's I just have a feeling.
Yeah, well, they're a big sponsor of ours. Thank you, McDonald's.
And he's a big fan.
Yeah,
big fan.
Chick-fil-A. I wouldn't pick that over Wagyu steak, but another good alternative. Somebody else, and I forget who it was, and I forget what they said, but somebody else had a really good one too, and I'm trying to remember. Because we had a long discussion. About this.
we all discussed exactly what
these are random discussions that we have when we're supposed to be working.
Yeah.
But so if you have your own meal, maybe it's just simple cheeseburgers and milkshakes like Tiger.
Yeah, that's kind of like what mine is. Mine's more simple, but it's fun. Simple but effective.
True American, there.
That's right.
And real quick, shout out to the Broncos, Western Michigan. Men's hockey national champions.
Yeah, they won the Frozen Four. That was a good win. That was a fun game to watch. Them up 4-2.
Yeah, I didn't watch any of it, I'll admit, because I was not home when that happened. But yeah, anything notable from it?
It was
They
just fun.
played Boston, right?
Boston U, yeah, which is like perennial,
Yeah.
Frozen Four competitor. They're always in there. But yeah, it was just really cool to see a team from Michigan win, especially a team that's never won before, and a team that, when you think about, in other sports, probably don't get the recognition.
Right.
So it was really cool to be able to see a team that doesn't normally get there. Get to celebrate a national championship. I know people were going crazy. I've heard reports that over by Western Michigan, people were hearing fireworks going off after they won. So
Yeah, I saw a video. People were burning couches. They think they're East Lansing.
Hey, that's the way to do it, I guess.
They probably do it smarter than East Lansing.
But yeah, their logo, I can't get over. Their logo is so close to the Washington football team. That is just unbelievable. It's so close. They look like the same logo, and the Broncos had that logo before Washington adopted it. But it's just, I don't know. I see that, and it's just like sometimes, like, how they have those like license plates where you can get the logo. I keep thinking like, oh, that's a Commanders fan, and then I'm just like, wait a minute. I'm like, no, that's
wait a minute,
Western
that's
Michigan.
Western
Yeah,
Michigan.
it's so weird.
It's not the Commanders.
Yeah,
the Washington football team.
man.
So NFL mock draft too. Speaking of Washington, I don't have them written down with their pick, but Cam Ward. Well, it's a good transition to football.
Oh yeah, but the way you made it sound, you're like, speaking of Washington, I don't have them on here. It just made me laugh.
I was not watching the game. Cam Ward, of course, still 1. Travis Hunter, number 2. Abdul Carter in this new mock draft today, number 3 to the Giants. Mason Graham at 5 to Jacksonville. Genty, number 6 to the Raiders. It sounds like that's probably what's going to happen.
Yeah, that hasn't changed since your previous mocks.
Will Johnson, remember the last mock we looked at? It had him and Mason Graham back-to-back, I think either at 4-5 or 5-6. But now Will Johnson's at number 11 to the 49ers.
Man, 49ers get a good pick there at being at 11.
Colston Loveland to Tampa at number 19. Him with Mike Evans and Chris Godwin.
That's pretty cool.
And Bucky Irving. Kate Otten at another tight end with Baker. And Colston Loveland. I'd say that's pretty good.
Yeah.
And then Jackson Dart to Pittsburgh, number 21. And Kenny Pickett, of course, the new Browns quarterback. The Browns also just brought back Joe Flacco. But Joe Flacco is going to be the backup. He is not starting for Cleveland. Kenny Pickett is going to be the starter. Somebody asked Kenny Pickett about it over the weekend in a media thing, and I don't know if it was a coach's decision and he came out and said it, or if he just said it himself. But the way Kenny Pickett made it sound, it was like he said, "Oh, I'm starting. I'm not coming here to just hang out." That's what he said.
He's a Super Bowl champion. Super Bowl champion Kenny Pickett.
This is true.
Yep.
He is a Super Bowl champion.
He has as many Super Bowl championships as Aaron Rodgers does.
Oh, stop.
Yeah, he does. You can't
Stop that.
You can't deny him that.
Also, the only reason why he didn't win more than one Super Bowl was because he played at the same time as a guy named Tom Brady. So,
Aaron Rodgers?
yes.
But he was in a different conference for most of his career.
Yeah, but you still get to the Super Bowl and lose to the Patriots.
Yeah, but he didn't. He only got to, what, he got to 2 Super Bowls? Or 1?
One for one.
Yeah, so he couldn't get there before that. I see what you were trying to do, but you can't, when you got a Packers hater in the room, you just can't,
No.
escape by.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter if you make it there. If you lose, it doesn't matter.
Well, yeah, but he still couldn't make it there, so you can't blame it on Tom
He
Brady.
did make it there. He won one.
Well, yeah, but I just hit my mic. Kenny Pickett did as well.
He didn't even play.
Yeah, but
he was
Super
the
Bowl champ.
backup.
Super Bowl champ. What can I tell you, man?
He's not making it there now.
How crazy would it be, though? How crazy would it be if Cleveland just starts playing well under Kenny Pickett? And
they had a couple of years not that long ago with Baker where they did make the playoffs.
Yeah, and
they won a playoff game.
Yeah, I can't remember who was it against that they beat.
Pittsburgh, I think.
Wow. Yeah, I guess a rival too.
Remember that game started like 28-0 or something, and it was a blowout.
Wow. And that might have been the season where Pittsburgh started off like undefeated, and people were saying like they were the worst undefeated team. They were like 11-0. Yeah, I remember that.
That was the weird COVID year where we had like Tuesday games, Wednesday games.
It's still funny going back and watching.
Oh, that was weird.
Watching
Wednesday night football.
Watching highlights from those games and like seeing like nobody in the stands is still just so bizarre. Even more bizarre than baseball, because it's like there's certain times during the season, let's be honest, like Colorado, or now I guess it's not Oakland now, it's in Sacramento, but like for the A's, it's just like they don't have a lot of people in the stands for like a 2:00 Tuesday game. But for football, it's just bizarre because you're used to seeing that packed out.
Right. So we'll see. I mean, Cleveland isn't gonna go anywhere.
I don't see them being good, but it would just be hilarious if Kenny Pickett ends up being something good.
Yeah. Because he hasn't done anything yet in the NFL.
Yeah.
So, Baltimore and Pittsburgh are in the division.
Well, you gotta believe it's Baltimore's division to lose again. You best believe.
Well, I'm not even including Cincinnati in the discussion.
Yeah, well, I think Cincinnati has a good shot. I just think that
I don't think they have a shot.
I think they do. I think if they improve on their defense, they have a shot. But I just think it's, when you look at that division, and Pittsburgh's interesting, but I just think Baltimore, with how loaded that team is, I'm not just saying that because I'm wearing purple, but Baltimore is the team to win that with how loaded their roster is. They're the teams that is supposed to win that division again. So we'll see if that happens, and we'll see if they trade up or what they do in the draft to try to improve. Maybe they're going to go after somebody to try to improve their team in the draft. We'll see. I think the draft's interesting. Is that next week, or when is that? It's coming up soon.
2 weekends from now, the 24th.
And it's like a Thursday, I think, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, it starts on a Thursday.
Yep.
In Titletown. And I still wish I was going, but I'm not. And I'm disappointed.
Well, who knows? We might see a Jackson High alum get drafted in that draft.
We might.
Yeah.
I said earlier in the show we were going to talk about a Saginaw Valley State graduate.
That's right.
So when we come back, I'll tell you what's coming up on Wednesday's show. We'll have a special guest. And we'll look ahead to JC Baseball live on JTV.
Doubleheader coming out.
Doubleheader on Thursday. So we'll wrap up when we come back. Welcome back here on JTV. I'm David Rice. Thank you to the Insurance Circle Agency. So coming up Wednesday's show, may have a Jackson area athlete, former Jackson High School alum, get his name called in a couple weekends from now.
We're crossing our fingers. I mean, one thing I'll say is, the draft's a long draft, and it doesn't just end at the draft. That, he might, if he doesn't get drafted, which I hope he does, but if he doesn't, I bet you he'll still make a team. I bet you'll still get invites. He still has been, I think the Vikings, Saints, and Lions all expressed interest in him. So hearing that, I mean, I'm hoping he would go to the Lions. But I
hope he doesn't go to the Lions or the Vikings.
Well, I hope he doesn't go to the Vikings. That's true. Because if you watch film from him, he looks incredible. So I would love for him to be able to go Lions. And then we saw that one, which we'll probably talk to him about it, but we saw that one mock draft that said if they only drafted D2 talent, he would go second overall. So it tells you how much people think of him.
Right. So Micah Kretzinger, 2019 Jackson High School graduate and two-time All-American for Saginaw Valley State. DB will be joining the show Wednesday. So looking forward to showing you guys that interview. We have a lot of questions for him and cover a lot, high school. Of course, he played basketball too and track. Multi-sport athlete. And that's a big thing now too, is like kids in high school or middle school or whatever, they're not playing as many multi-sport athletes as there was.
Yeah, I mean, I know some people say that you should. Then I've heard other people say that, no, you should specialize and just get good in one. So I think that's an interesting question for us to ask him, is just like, do you feel like that helped you? Do you feel, because I feel like some of his best accomplishments might have been because he was on track and got used to that, and then went off into football. So we'll see what he says. I'm interested to hear from him.
Plus, we'll have girls' high school soccer highlights on the show Wednesday, and we'll preview live doubleheader JC baseball Thursday.
You and Max Fritz on the call, right?
Yep, we'll be live at 1:45 Thursday on JTV, and of course on our website jtv.tv, live streaming there too. Doubleheader taking on St. Clair County Community College, the SC4 Skippers.
We'll see if they can get another dub. 2 dubs, we'll see, because they won that. They won the last one. That was a fun game. That was a fun game to watch. So
now they've been up and down since then, as we shared last week on the show. But they're 1 game under 500. But they postseason's coming up. Everything changes then, pretty much. So
I'm pretty certain. We would have to double check this, but I'm pretty certain that every game that we've covered, every game that we've done a live game there, they've won. Pretty sure we're undefeated. So
and the one Spring Arbor game we did, they won too.
So for baseball, right now we're undefeated for live broadcasts. And the last time we did a Jackson College game, not this season, but last season, it was a doubleheader and they won both. So let's go JC. Hopefully the Jets can win both, stay undefeated for us.
Yep, St. Clair has been struggling this year. Not very good at all.
Well, let's hope. Let's hope let's hope we can keep the undefeated streak.
Yep. Of course, subscribe to JTV Sports now that everything from last week, the last couple of weeks, really rescheduled, canceled. Everything's been getting moved around because of weather. So subscribe to JTV Sports and our Center for Family Health scoreboard. Get you all the info each day and everything that's coming up on deck. So, and of course, our photo galleries from ORS, the locker room, the locker room. Check out all of our sports content, jtv.tv. So that's Adam. I'm David. Thank you, the Insurance Circle Agency and Pataki Orthodontics. So we will see you on Wednesday where Micah Kretzinger will join the show.